What I want to talk about today is being in a toxic relationship. I may not be in a relationship now, but I've been in many that are just really, really horrible. The first relationship I was ever in lasted for quite a few years, but it was on and off. Me and the guy, we kept breaking up and getting back together. And at the time, I loved him to death. I didn't see what he was doing to me. And then one day, I fell in love with him so much I asked him to marry me. From that point on, our relationship went downhill. And I couldn't see why it was going downhill because we were in love. After a while of being broken up with him, we started to hate each other more and more. And then it finally dawned on me. He was only using me for the connections I had to get drugs. And he was using me to get off when he needed to. So, in easy terms, it was just a giant toxic relationship. I think the best part was actually being part of backyard wrestling with him and getting to hit him in the head with a shovel. I know it sounds mean, and you should never get into a fight with your significant other. You should never get in a fight with anyone. But it was staged, and I never actually touched him in the back of the head with a shovel. But the way it was filmed, it looked like I smacked him so hard that it knocked him unconscious, and it was really cool looking. But me and him got really close, and it just went downhill. It ended up being one of the most toxic things I've ever done in my life besides getting addicted to drugs. And I'm glad I got out of that relationship when I did. So the second guy I got into a relationship with, he ended up trying to rape me. And I already had a good idea of what a toxic relationship was, but he opened up my eyes a little bit more. We were only together a few weeks. And I kept saying no the one time because I had company with me. And he ended up jumping on my back and trying to choke me out. And in the end, there was no penetration. There was no anything. I was able to fling him off of me and get out of the room in time. Luckily for me, later on that night, we went to a mosh pit because my friend was with me at the time. She just thought I was kind of joking around and I actually wanted to hook up with him, so she let us have our alone time, which is at the point when he jumped on my back. I found her and we left and ran into him at a metal show later on that night. I ended up getting into the mosh pit and he was in there, and that was an excuse to punch him in the face multiple times without anyone really noticing things. And as I have said before, never punch your significant other, never get in a fight with anyone. It's worthless and it's pointless. Oh, I'm manly, oh, I'm tough, I'm the bigger and badder badass. It doesn't solve anything. It just makes you look like a dumbass. But later on that night, I ended up leaving, and I still see him from time to time. And it's a reminder that if I'm ever in a relationship that I feel is getting toxic, I should leave it. And it's sad that I see so many friends that are in toxic relationships, and they just stay in it. They stick with it. It really makes no sense. If the relationship is going that sour and it's just getting that bad and putting so much of a mental and physical drain on you that it could affect you later on in life, why are you still in it? You're not in this relationship, you're not in it to win it. You're in a relationship to be in love with someone, to show that you care, to spend the rest of your life with them. But if they're going to treat you like complete shit, there's no point. There's no point whatsoever. And I've tried to express that to many people, and no one listens. I figure it's a learning process. I had to learn the hard way, and they're going to have to learn the hard way. I don't know if a relationship is that toxic. You really just need to get out of it or try to fix it. And by trying to fix it, I mean go into couples therapy. And if that doesn't work, it's not worth your time. Get out of it while you can. It just toxic relationships are the most pointless thing I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, I watch so many people get into them, myself included. That's why I've been single 5, 6, 7 years, something like that. I have no point in getting back into a relationship. I am who I am, and I'm not going to be in a toxic relationship. I'm not going to let it affect me years down the road. I already got the one that anytime someone reminds me of my ex and they touch me, I freak out. So there's no point really at all in getting back into a toxic relationship and letting it destroy you down the road. That's just my opinion, and I wanted to get it off my chest.